All right. Google is telling me we are live, so welcome to this Saturday night stream. It's been a while to this Total OS live chat. We'll be talking some Linux tonight, and we'll see if anybody drops in the chat room. This was an unscheduled live event. We had a big storm go through rather quickly. It surprised me, so I'm left with some free time for this evening. So we'll see who stops by, and we'll go from there. So we'll give this a few minutes. Welcome, Jonathan. How are you? I'm just chilling watching the Weather Channel because there is no Total OS channel on TV yet. All right, let me cut out some of the feedback here. All right, very good. Looking good. Let's see what the weather forecast is for tomorrow. High 80s. Nice. And more rain, of course. All right. Doing very good, very well, Jonathan. Thank you. Just chilling with some water and lemon juice. I was online searching for graphics cards for my computer and power supplies. Looks like I'm going to need about another $250 or so to get this machine up to snuff. Hello, William. How are you? These live streams are community supported, so if you would like to support these live streams, check out the links below in the show notes. And once again, thank you for 9 years of the channel. Alright, I got the chat open. We're going to move the chat over here. Move this here. I got my news feeder app working, the ticker app. William is using Debian SID. Isn't that the unstable branch, I think? Okay. I think my unstable days are over after 13 years of doing this. It is unstable. Okay. All right, so we'll give this a couple of minutes, see who else comes in, and we'll get to some of the topics. You can handle Debian unstable. Okay. I've messed with that before. But see, because of the amount of work I do on the channel, I don't have time to be unstable, as it were, or to test unstable things, you know. CJ, how are you? Who else comes in? Arnold comes in later, but it's fantastic. Yeah, my dad is back in Rome, CJ. He was here a couple of weeks ago. I think I mentioned it. Everything went fairly well. He was here 5 days, and man, it was a whirlwind. I mean, it was non-stop. Now I need a vacation from my vacation. but we were able to put up another trailer, and yeah, there's a and the quest for a distribution deal continues. God bless him. He's been doing. My dad's been on this thing for 8 years now. He's 83. Wow. Sleepy, what is new? CJ and Vince, do you want to join? I won't be on too late tonight. I know we haven't chatted in a while, but if you want to join. South Korea is ditching Windows for Linux. Which one? Hotshot, you got no time for us peons. Well, I'm here, ain't I? You know, I could be out at I was gonna say Arby's, at Applebee's, but no, I'm here. You emailed some friends, some Jewish ones. So did I. So yeah. Let me send a couple of you guys invites if you want to join. Like I said, I won't be on too late tonight. But yeah, we did a new trailer, and I mean that's it for now. We got a poster going, and for the movie, and I think for now that'll be it. I'm starting to get burned out. You know, it's just it's not only the amount of time, but the amount of time working on it with no paycheck. Those of you who know the business, CJ, if you don't sell something, there's no pay. So you know, it's hard. It's hard to keep the spirit up, but hopefully one day you guys will get to see that terrific movie. I see CJ and Vince, check your emails. Like I said, I won't be on too late tonight. I got to get up early in the morning, chat with Stephanie. So CJ would be right there at Applebee's. Well, if he wasn't 2,500 miles away, we could be doing a live show from Applebee's. But you had to move, so nah, that's fine. One day, CJ, we will meet. I got a feeling one day I'll have to go out to LA on business. Don't know when. In the meantime, I chug along. It isn't specific for switching to a Linux OS yet. Oh. South Korea, really? Okay. I mean, I have some topics here, so let me do this. Sleepy's gonna have some lunch. Very good. Have some lunch, man. Me too, Sleepy. Yeah, she's a terrific gal. Terrific person. So I wish her all the very best. She deserves it. So yeah. Hi, Peabody. How are you? Test. The sound okay? Yeah, looks like it's okay. All right, I don't want to hear more hurricane talk on Weather Channel. All right. There you is.
Hey, Carmen. Let me mute this other one.
Okay.
There we go.
How you been?
Hey, all right. How are you?
Hanging in there. Last week I was burned out.
Well, this is consider this Applebee's right here.
Yes, this is the Ubuntu Mate Applebee's shop, right? Yeah. So how you been?
All right. I was just picking some classes for the fall schedule in school. This is working out good right now. You're not going to do a long one. I was supposed to start on someone else's show at like 6, and that hasn't happened yet. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'll stick around, even though I'm the Linux newbie. So
that's what this channel is all about, man. You know,
and like I say, I've got a year until Windows 7, which is on 2 of my computers. Until that's,
You got until the end of this year, until January 20th of next year or something. So yes, you will have to do something, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so anyway, so my dad's back in Italy. He's chilling. I'll probably give him a call tomorrow. So you saw the trailer?
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
I share your appreciation of the music in the trailer too. That's amazing.
The guy, I was lucky. Two Wednesdays ago, when my dad was, we were at Brooklyn Bagel, coffee bagel shop, right? So we're sitting outside because the weather's nice. It was sunny, 70s. So I was there with, we were chatting. I had one of my friends from high school. She came in with her husband, met my dad for the first time. So we're talking about the movie and the music. I said, you know what? Sandro, the music conductor, is so gifted. I want to thank him. My dad says, well, I'll just give him a call. Like, you're just going to give the guy a call? Like, yeah, I'll give him a call now. Hello, Sandro, ¿cómo estás? I was like, holy crap. So my son wants to say hello. He says in Italian. So I said, Sandro, ¿cómo está? He says, come on. How are you, come on? You speak English. Oh, thank God, So I just told what I've been telling you guys. I said, Sandro, thank you for the music. I think he's working on consignment. I don't think he got paid anything. He did it. He had faith in the project, hoping it would sell. He could sell his music. I think that's how it worked out. But anyway, I said thank you. Great music. I think it's Oscar caliber soundtrack, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, but
I'm out of its league as far as a musician goes.
yeah.
I mean,
He knows his stuff because he teaches it too there in Rome. So, but to make a long story short, I said, Sandra, I've been meaning to thank you for 2 years. The music is rousing. It's spiritual. It's memorable. I haven't heard a soundtrack like this in years. I compare it to the Godfather theme, sort of,
Right.
And look, it ain't just me. My friend Marion is here from high school.
Yeah.
And she said the same thing.
Yeah,
I wanted him to know that it wasn't just me saying it. That he
Yeah.
has a fan. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that guy's got that's the career that guys like me drew with.
he has a gift. So, CJ, I lost you. You froze. You may have to restart.
Love to have had, but I
There you
can't.
go.
Well,
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah. No, he's definitely gifted.
Yeah.
And he says, you know why the music's good? I said, no, why? Because Italians know how to make a music. Oh, duh. But no, he's awesome. He was very kind and humble on the phone, and I don't know if he was expecting what I said. I said, look, Sandro, the soundtrack is Oscar caliber stuff. It really is memorable for what it's worth. I don't know if the movie is, but anyway.
And it's not too late to get that promoted. It really isn't. I mean, only a couple years out of production.
It's not that unusual, no.
And it's not too late. Obviously, I don't really know about that, but it's more, people don't really realize that there are films that come out today that were shot like 5-6 years ago, even sometimes earlier.
Yeah.
And that one is a feature film that's worth. I mean, it's from the look of the trailer, it looks like a really, high budget, well made film.
It's an emotional film. I mean, like, it wasn't high budget, like $10 million. Of course, nowadays $200 million is considered medium budget, But it's not that kind of a special effects high budget film.
How much was it?
It wasn't $200 million, no.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said how much. Well, what was Spike Lee's "Do the Right Thing" was $5 million, I think, in mid-late '80s, whatever that was.
Oh, they did it for a lot less than that.
And that was a very low budget.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this was an independent-made film, meaning that my dad, he got no help. He got no help from supporters, from the government, from contributors, from pay. He had zero help. He did it almost all on his own, almost all of it. And he pulled it off in spite of his age and his health conditions. So I call that a miracle, but that's my opinion. But we'll talk
awesome.
again in private one of these, soon, CJ.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to ask you. Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. A lot
yeah.
of people don't know what's going on. I should have asked Sandra, did you write the music on Linux? I don't know. I just thought about it, but he's probably a big shot. He's on Mac or Hollywood stuff.
if you didn't get him, you could have had Stephanie do the music.
Probably could have, Switch to Linux, Spin, Rogue, Steve, Gers. We didn't mean to go off topic here slightly, but CJ is also a musician and performer, so that's why we went off topic here. But it's all good. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the trailer for my dad's film he's been trying to sell for years, it's on the channel. Just search The Cross and the Star. And it's based on a true story. So let's get switched to Linux. And here was it, 10:06. Like I said, I can't be on too late on tonight because I have to get a hold of Stephanie in the morning. We might do a live show tomorrow. Mac Talk live tomorrow. It's been a while. So she's in Germany, which makes her also 6 hours ahead, like my dad. So let's get switching here, and then we'll go into the topics, into some Linux topics. Give me 1 second, Switch. All right, there we go. But the Gnostic, the topics are below in the show notes. I'm waiting for the next Godzilla movie to come out. I don't know why, but we should have Godzilla versus the Terminator. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was trying to respond to your Godzilla.
Yeah. I might go see it. Just waste $10, but anyway, whatever it costs now for a movie ticket. I know it's been so long, But
it's been. I was just thinking the last one I went to was don't laugh, but it was that Dinesh D'Souza one. My mom drugged me to it a couple of years ago. I went with her. It was fun. I wasn't interested, but it was a fun movie to watch. But that was the last one, sadly, that I've been in the theater to see. I haven't gone and seen a film in a theater.
You know what I should do?
While.
If my dad can be lucky enough to sell his movie and we get a paycheck file, I'm going to do the Linux movie. I'm going to do it a la Michael Moore style. Just walk around with a small crew, a couple simple 4K cameras, microphones, and just walk around and ask people, "Hi, do you know what Linux is?
Hey, Tom.
Do you know what Ubuntu is?" Just go fly to like different cities and just ask random people, like in coffee shops who use Mac, right? And do Michael Moore style. Do you know what Linux is? Yes. Okay. Explain it to me, and just go from there.
You're giving too many people that idea right now live. That is a brilliant idea.
Well, hi Tom.
Hello. Let me know if I need to put headphones on.
Okay.
But that's a great idea. You should do that.
I think a couple $100,000 ought to do it to pay for hotel, pay for a crew, a small crew, and nowadays that's peanuts. But I would do it. I would do it.
You could make that look really good for cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't need special effects. It would just be, buying the equipment, which would be, I could probably get it for 40, 50 grand, some nice equipment.
How much would a big penguin costume cost?
that would be probably the cheapest equipment of all. Thank you, Rogue and World Network Engineer, for the super chat. Thank you. Very kind of you, sir. I think it's a sir. I hope it's a sir. If not, I think it's a sir. Yeah.
I was thinking about
Thank you.
Expensive YouTube sets, right? And if it is real, the most expensive YouTube set that I've seen is actually Minty Comics. If the comic book in his background is real. Because he has a the first edition of Superman, the Action Comics 23, I think.
Interesting.
That is like $25 million comic book, if that's real.
Wow.
I
would
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Roy. No, I would that's one of the advantages, CJ, of not having, say, 10 million subscribers, because that means a lot of people still don't know about me or Linux in general. So I can probably pull it off, Or I could say, look, I'm going to pay you $50, right? But I want you to be honest. Here's a question. Do you know what is Linux? And if they say yes, now they have to be honest. Tell me what it is, right? If they say, well, it's a kernel, based off of this Ubuntu, there were different distributions, and they mention Linus Torvalds. Okay, here's your $50, right? I could bribe them, but it'd be bribing them to tell the truth.
You don't even really need to do that, but I mean, if
no, I don't think I have to.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they go to their smartphone to start, you can't do that. No. You got to tell me now. Do you know what? And if you don't know, that's fine.
There's so many directions you can go with it.
Oh yeah. I think some project like that, I think I could pull it off. I think in less than 90 days for a couple $100,000. I think I could do a nice production.
Wow.
I think so. I don't know. I mean, you're more into the business than I am out there, but I think it can be done. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I could think of all the different ways, and today people are doing some incredible. Yeah, I do look into it now, and the evolution of it too, because I did take it. I took it in high school. Ever since back in high school, I was in production, so
But I would do all the editing at home on Linux, to make it more authentic, obviously. So.
Now, I'll tell you, that is what led me to, that is honestly what led me to Linux. Now, I've known Linux since not its beginnings, but for me, I've known since the early 2000s, I've known of it. But I didn't get to the point where, I've seen you guys, and remember when I was asking for the evolutionary chart of Linux? Well, I finally got it. Mm-hmm. Someone gave me a link to a good one. And that's what I really wanted to learn from everything on. But what led me to it is creative work. With Windows, it's just not. There are a lot of complaints. And first of all, cost is what it's a rich man. It's not a rich man's game, but you got to spend some money on and you could have a talent.
Yeah.
And you don't realize there's some free stuff out there that you just have to get to know Linux and there's a whole new life, a whole new world of.
No, I think as the exposure to Linux on YouTube is more and more, I don't see so much on the TV and the news. It's a shame, but I think places like this, I think, is a great start. Tom, you've been doing Linux full time. How long now?
Well, I don't do Linux full time. I actually run all operating systems.
Okay, all right.
But on this computer, always runs Linux. My production computer always runs Linux. The only one that still runs Windows 7 is my web development computer.
Got it. Okay.
My writing computer is all pure Linux. Okay. So I switched over. I want to say it was 2000, maybe it's December or so, 2015.
Okay.
I think is really when I started working with it, and then booting the computer into Ubuntu many days of the week.
Yeah.
Instead of this, used to have Windows 8 on it. It in theory still does, but I don't think it boots in the Windows 8 anymore.
Okay.
Something wrong with the hard drive.
Okay, yeah.
Somewhere in mid-2016, this computer hasn't booted into Windows 8 at all.
Very good. I use Linux. I use Ubuntu base about 80% of the time, maybe a little more. People ask me, why do I still use Windows? I don't use it as much, but in my opinion, multimedia still continues to struggle. It's not on the par. And we'll talk about Kdenlive here in a moment. But multimedia in general, it's getting better, continues to struggle in Linux because lack of a standard, What is the standard video editor for Linux? Well, I thought it was Kdenlive until the latest release. So anyway, we'll talk about that in a moment. Gnostic says, what programs do you use for music production? That would not be me. That would be maybe CJ, who uses Windows maybe for music production. CJ?
My favorites, there's actually a few, but LMMS for Linux, that matches anything. Obviously, for iTunes, GarageBand, and all that, but if you're an Apple guy, I have Apple products too. Yeah. But I actually have been I've worked. You do some audio tweaking in Audacity.
Yes.
And then
I have used that.
And you can. There's just little things you can do. I've gone MIDI for the first time recently by getting a MIDI keyboard. I've never had it. It's just a a way to do music, just a one-man show type of music. But those programs, you could record anything if you have the right equipment. You could use LMMS to record a really well produced song. if you have microphones to set up a studio, and you can mix it in LMMS. So that's a good one.
I have heard of that. Tomorrow, if we do a live show with Stephanie, obviously she's all about the music, and she uses both Windows and Mac. So
she probably knows about LMMS.
Probably.
She might.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't use so much. I mean, honestly, I use 100%, well, 99% Kdenlive, sometimes Shotcut to add the video tracks and the audio tracks, sometimes Audacity to like normalize. But even Kdenlive can really normalize or gain the. So
yeah, I use Shotcut as well. Great program.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as that goes, as far as music goes, Gnostic, that's what I use. I don't do just music production. That would be more Stephanie's angle. Tom, I'm assuming you use mainly Kdenlive, right? I'm assuming.
For video editing, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I started with OpenShot, but when they changed, they did an update. I don't know, about two or so years ago that they made it infinitely more complicated, but but didn't add any new features. And basically, OpenShot is effectively Windows Live Movie Maker. I mean, it's that.
Yeah, it's pretty basic stuff.
Which is perfect if you just need basic stuff.
There's nothing wrong with that. It just wish it would work. I just downloaded the new one and I rendered a video in a format, and it was like watching special effects. I don't know what was going on, so I stopped.
Yeah, and they made it infinitely more complicated, but didn't add any features. And so I said, well, if I'm going to have to learn an entire new software anyway, I may as well learn Kdenlive. And I've been very happy with that. Of course,
you know what? Shotcut seems to work. It's not a full feature, but it just works. OpenShot, I don't know what, but for years it just doesn't work, or it works for one thing, but then you try to edit. It's unstable. That's all that I can say. So
there are a few other ones. DaVinci Resolve, HitFilm.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Lightworks.
For those, yeah.
Lightworks, those are all Linux-friendly programs.
Are they? Okay. Yeah. As soon as I can pick up a heftier graphics card, because this one doesn't have it. This came with a 1 gig DVI card, this refurbishment. It's worthless. I just took it out. But as soon as I can pick up a graphics card and a power supply, then I can go into the heavier ones like DaVinci and Lightworks. I think you need more of a heavier card.
I use it on 8 gigs. It's been stable for me, but I don't use it as often. But
yeah, once you go into the 1080p rendering, unless you have a graphics card, you're gonna wait for a long time for that to. 720p, this thing flies with no graphics card, just the integrated graphics on a Core i7. But once you go into the 1080p at 60 frames, you really need a graphics card.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobon2, welcome. Vince, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How's everyone here?
Good.
Good. So, Vince, the planetarium was able to take your photos and determine that printout chart that they were given by that crazy company, they gave them the moon chart as seen from the South Pole.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah. So he used a picture of the moon from our elevation, a picture of the moon from your elevation, and used that to calculate the angles.
Yeah. In case people don't know, I sent in case people don't know, I sent Switch to Linux moon photos from where I am because of that. And I just found out that apparently, it's. I didn't know that, but the moon is flipped 180 degrees.
Yeah, well, it actually appears as though it's not just a 180, but the moon has a geocentric rotation, right? So wherever you are on your latitude, you always see the moon exactly the same way. But if you're down south, you see the moon from a different perspective than up north. Basically north of the equator, south of the equator. But using that, the pictures he had and the pictures you had, they were able to calculate that the picture that they gave them was from the South Pole.
Okay.
That's because we walk upside down here. We're on the ceiling.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, well, for those of you joining late, this is Total Science Live. No, this is
Thanks, CJ.
This is Total OS Live, and welcome to the show. Good to be here. All right, let's now welcome all my guests here, everybody in the chat. Rogue, thank you again for the super chat, and if you have a question for us, Rogue, let us know. Let's go to some of the topics. I've been testing KDE Neon 19 the last couple of weeks in my test Toshiba Satellite that I keep in the garage when I'm working on the car or washing. And you know what? I'm impressed. The performance is still good. It's still zippy as it was last year. I haven't had any issues. I don't know if anybody else here has taken a look at Kubuntu or KDE Neon. Tom?
Not for a while.
Okay.
Not the latest version for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen it before, and I should because that's one of my favorite desktop environments is KDE.
Yeah, it's I love the widgets when they work, and the weather widget work. But the thing is, on a small laptop screen with Plasma, you want a more of a wider, screen.
Yeah, it's really nice on an HD.
Yeah, on a small, it doesn't quite. But that's not Plasma's fault. But no, KDE Neon at boot, just cold boot. Once I log in, it's like 400 megabytes, which isn't bad. That's less than Ubuntu Mate.
Yeah, it's definitely streamlined.
Yeah, so yeah, if anybody out there is a newbie to Linux and want to try something a little more flash, their documentation reading could be better about it. Like a manual could be better because the Plasma does maybe too much for beginners, but it looks slick and it's fast. So
now Plasma is KDE based, isn't?
Yeah.
It's KDE apps.
This is
the desktop. The desktop environment is called KDE.
Yeah.
But since version 5, it's now referred to as Plasma.
Yeah.
Which is kind of stupid. It's like call it one thing or the other, just to not confuse.
Well, I guess Plasma sounds more cool, like Star Trek, but
it does.
It's like what sounds better, a Plasma cannon or a KDE cannon?
Duh.
And if you're trying to differentiate from Windows, it's better to just name things rather than.
Anyway, but yeah, the latest KDE Neon looks good, but on a small screen, it does. You need more real estate, but it works fine. So I think I'm going to delete that and move into the next OS. I want to talk about the latest Peppermint OS has been released, Peppermint 10. And I haven't looked at it. Anybody here, Tom? Have you?
Yeah, I was trying it last night. I found it very good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. As far as like UI stuff, all the interface features, it's going to be pretty close to exactly the same as you got with Peppermint 9. But there's under the hood changes that make it very significant. So it'll now support NVIDIA graphics out of the box as long as you select the proprietary drivers on install. It will now isolate all your ICE applications into their own. Well, you have the option to isolate your ICE applications into your own user profiles, so that your ICE applications aren't going to track you across the internet. That's another feature, and they moved the kernel over to one that will eventually upgrade to the 5 kernel. So those are all the major changes.
It's all positive and it's stable and it's just as good as the last one.
Yeah, I didn't use it long term, but it seems as though it would be good.
And that's also, of course, lightweight XFCE desktop, which has been around for years, stable. That's probably better suited for a laptop screen, a smaller screen than Plasma, but that's probably the next one I will install and test. So check out Peppermint again. If you're a newbie, Peppermint might be a little bit better suited for a newbie. It isn't quite as overwhelming as the Plasma desktop.
The downside with it for a newbie is that they still don't have a easy interface to put your home folder, your network drives on your desktop if that's what you want to do. You can do it. They have documentation on it. It's just not a simple setting.
I've taken a look briefly at Peppermint's documentation, and as an English major, the last time I saw it, I thought it was pretty good.
It's very good. Yeah,
it is. Okay, all right. Okay. So check out Peppermint if you are new to the world of Linux. I use Ubuntu Mate. Tom uses Linux Mint. That's good too. Those are good too. Peppermint is lightweight also, and I think the Peppermint team really in the last year, 2 years have done a terrific job. Of course, our friend Steve, that's all he uses. But yeah, for an older machine with not a lot of RAM, like say you have 2 gigs of RAM, I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah, I run Peppermint 7 on my writing computer.
Oh, 7! Wow.
Amazing. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I've got Peppermint on some USBs that I run at work. It's great for booting Windows machines up. Yeah.
Yeah. I think trying to think this may get a bit technical for the newbies, but Peppermint, can you run a persistence on a USB, or is it not made for that?
I haven't installed on USB,
Okay.
so it's a full install.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
What that means is with some distros, I think most Ubuntu-based you can install it on the USB, and then you can leave some space on the USB. So when you run it off a USB live and you install something or run something and want to save it, normally once you shut it off, what you saved is gone. And what the persistence does, it leaves some caddy trunk space to save some of the apps that you save, for lack of a better term.
It will not, like, it doesn't have that as a direct feature, but what you can do with it is when you install it on a USB drive, you can encrypt the volume. So close enough, you can encrypt it on the install on the USB drive. In fact, I'm thinking I'm going to redo my banking computer in Peppermint because of the ICE applications. That way I have one separate ICE application for each bank account without them having access to one another.
Yeah, I generally do banking only in Linux, although for what it's worth, I do believe Windows 10, not a pirated copy, but like a genuine version of Windows 10 to be secure, if not private. But I still feel better doing banking in Linux for what it's worth. So,
I've been using the same thumb drive for about 2 years, and it's getting slow. So I'm thinking it's probably about time to wipe that drive and get a new one.
Kenny
Honestly,
says that.
I've tried. Sorry, you go.
No, Kenny was saying Universal USB has that feature, and I think UNet bootin, but I believe DOS has to inherently have that capability too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I've tried USB persistence before, and I found it very flaky. I prefer to install the OS directly on USB.
Yeah, it's just handy to have around. Say you just want to run that, and go from computer to computer, and save some of your files, or or a song or two, whatever.
You can do that though if you just install the distro to the USB drive. The difference the only reason that the persistent drive is different is that anything that you do on the live key is not going to be saved or retained.
Right.
So on my Tails build, I have a persistent drive, so I can boot into that with or without the persistent drive.
Okay.
But with, so if you're just talking about your own self having your own key that you can put on any drive, you can do that just by installing it onto a USB drive. You don't need a persistent volume for that.
Just an ISO file?
Well, no, you install it onto it. So you have your ISO file that you boot up, and then when you install it onto a second USB drive. So you can run, Linux will allow you to install something to any drive you specify. So usually what I'll do is, since my main computer has an IC dock, so I can pull all the drives out with just a click of a button, then I'll just take the drives off, put the ISO image in, put the USB drive in, install the operating system to the USB drive. Okay. You have the option then to encrypt that drive with Peppermint. So
there's actually another way that I do it. I run the ISO in VirtualBox, and then I plug in a USB and pass through the USB to the VirtualBox, and then it recognizes it, and then you install in VirtualBox. I found it a bit safer.
Yeah, that's another way to do it.
A little easier.
Yeah, just make sure that you have enough hefty storage on the US. I mean, I wouldn't do it on a 4 gig USB stick or anything, but as long as you have enough.
Usually 8 to 16.
Yeah,
I'll probably go 16 to be safe. Yeah, if you're going to do it that way. But that would work too. Sure. I've been so used to using UNet boot in the past and click persistence. Yes, but anyway.
I'm gonna duck out for some food that's ready.
Okay, CJ.
So I will watch the rest of the show. You gentlemen, have a
thanks for stopping by, and we'll chat again soon. Yeah. Sounds good, my friend. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll talk for private chat.
All right,
Take care, Vincent. Bye,
Thank
Tom.
you.
See you later, CJ. Bye.
Bye.
Let's go into the next topic, and that's Kdenlive. I think we talked about this before, Tom, or somebody else here, but they changed the UI, how it looks, and I don't like it at all. It's not as user friendly. as the previous version 18 versus the 1904, and luckily I still have the 18 app image saved.
See if I
I don't like. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, seriously, I'm just gonna tell them, team at Kdenlive, I love you guys for the previous versions, but this one, forget about it. I mean, totally serious. It's not as user friendly. What are you thinking? I don't understand it, and you know, and this is again one of the reasons why, in generally speaking, Linux still struggles in multimedia apps for a standard user friendly quality standard application for video rendering. But I was playing with it. I mean, it's stable enough, but I'm like, wait a minute, I got to do what? And that's taking up more real estate. I got to do more work. Well, where's my? I don't need that. I just
really seeing a major difference.
Play with it. They separate the video and the audio tracks in the timeline, so it's taking up more real estate. Okay, that's one thing versus on the
now,
one.
Because there's actually a setting to toggle that.
Okay, and they also got rid of the right click on the track to add effects. Now you have to go up to the timeline and then back down, back and forth.
Yeah, that is annoying.
That is annoying. That is not user friendly at all. Now the other thing you were saying, if there's a toggle switch, great. I didn't take the time to really look. I was so ticked off. Is that in the settings, I'm assuming, to toggle that off?
Well, it used to be at the bottom. I'm looking right now. Hold on.
Yeah, because I didn't see one. Well, but
so
I don't like it.
Video and audio automatically on the older version.
Okay.
Show video thumbnails might be what it is.
I don't know.
They might have just changed the name of it. Let's see. Show audio.
If it's there, great. All I know in the previous one, I didn't have to fiddle with it. It just worked. And they haven't fixed, where it says more than one thread experimental. If you leave it at more than one and you're going to play, it sputters. You have to go back to the one.
You've always had to do that. Yeah, that's always.
And you still have to. That's annoying. Extremely annoying.
Yeah, but again, that's an experimental feature.
True.
At
least they say it, but it's still annoying. But they do say it, so yes.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the option to split or combine the track, but I haven't played with it yet. So I'm actually looking at them. On Arch here, I have 19, and over here, I think I have 17.
Well, maybe I'll send something to the Kdenlive. I'll say, guys, look, I got the caddy trunk ready. Fix it, okay? No, but
I got the caddy trunk ready, yo.
I know.
But I see what you're talking about with the video audio transition.
Yeah.
Because now, and I think to be fair, that might actually. Let's see. There's audio 1, audio 2. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna record a simple screen recorder and just test something real quick. Because by the way mine's set up right now, it looks the same. I'm gonna test it though.
All right.
Can I take you guys back a second, because I've only just started using Kdenlive.
Yes.
Because my wife needed some videos edited, and I thought, hey, I've been watching these guys who edit videos all the time. I'll try it myself. But the theming for it with these Qt apps, like I'm struggling to get it to look right.
Yeah, I don't have mine working right either.
So that's a normal thing, right?
Where everything is, I deal with it.
Yeah.
All right. So I now have a thing. One of the things I don't see.
Did Toss mute himself, or what? I think he did. I think Toss muted himself.
Oh.
There we go. Sorry. Yeah. No. I mean, the last thing I look at is theming and colors and Sherwin-Williams paints. That's the last thing I do. But I look at functionality first. Ease of use, because it takes time.
Because I just installed.
I mean, anyway. So
I installed it from the repos, and this is giving me version 17. I don't know if that's a good version or not.
I use the app image. Go to the app image. If the 18 is there, I still use that. Look, my dad and I edited that trailer. I posted it, a 3.5 minute trailer. It took us 4 hours, and that's on Kdenlive 18, user friendly. Imagine doing 19. Jeez, but anyway, I don't know what they were thinking for 19. I really don't, and it's not easier. It's not. It's not more streamlined. It just isn't. The workflow just takes longer, and it's like, no. But, what can I say? It is what it is. Sneaky says, Kdenlive theming has always been a pain forever. Okay. Again, that's the last thing that I look at, so.
Well, Qt theming in general, I mean, I've had trouble with VirtualBox as well.
Tom, what kind of a graphics card do you have in your machine that you built last year?
It's an R7. It's a Radeon R7.
How many gigs?
4.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I would want to get. And it does 1080p quite zippy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
All right. So right now, yes, it is splitting the video and the audio.
And I don't think there's a way to combine it. I mean, I didn't look at it in deep, but I looked at the settings once or twice, and I said, nah, I'm done. I'm going to go back to 18. So.
Yeah, there used to be a setting at the very bottom.
Okay.
For split audio and video automatically.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. See, when I do, all right. For example, Sundays when I record the news and nonsense with Stephanie, we do it on Skype. Skype saves it on their server, which is a big convenience. They say they'll delete it after 30 days. We'll see. But then I download it immediately. I save it. I pull that MP4 file. I think it's MP4. I don't know, but just put that right into Kdenlive on the one track, audio and the video on the one track, and then I play it back, and then I cut all the little, bloopers or whatever. I normalize the entire, single, video, audio track in the timeline. I play it back. If it sounds good, great. If not, then I'll add a gain, boost the volume, play a few minutes. And once that's done, volume-wise, make sure it's high enough. Then I'll do the cuts, edit, remove white space, go back and put all the cuts out, put everything that's been cut all in one track, on the timeline, and then I render it, and even that can take hours. I mean, I don't want to go back and forth, up and down, cut, add. I mean, come on, Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's just my opinion. I'll look at their website again. I won't do it tonight. Maybe somebody else has mentioned it in the forum, but maybe I'll mention it, and I'll just say, look, you guys are awesome. Kdenlive is terrific, or has been until the latest one, and I'll explain why. Maybe I'm not the only one. So,
does the newer version have any performance advantages?
I did not know. I mean, I got a refurbished machine, which is fast, but that's, I think, more the machine versus Kdenlive. But
because I mean, it seems like changing the interface just for the sake of it is a real annoying thing.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if they changed it, but then gave you the options to the way it was, like Tom was saying, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with more options. But if you eliminate it, then you've taken away my choice to go back to what I think was a simpler, mode, a simpler workflow. I don't know. Maybe I'll mention it in the forum. But
I guess that's what Tom talks about how sometimes you just want to stick with an older version because it just works better.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any more stable.
I don't like flat packs. I don't like snaps. I don't like anything that wants to automatically update itself. I want to.
I don't have a lot of snaps install. I mainly install for testing. App image, I did that because the previous app image for Kdenlive, I still had it, and it works fine.
They still have insert effect. They still have insert a composition, but they don't have insert a transition.
They took away right-click, add any effect, audio. I mean, you just right and go up and down that list is gone. You have to go up to the timeline tab and then go back down.
You know what I'm seeing on this, though? Let's see. It might just be because this is Arch and I don't have everything installed on here, but I'm actually seeing even a lot fewer transitions. I mean, on Linux Mint, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 different categories.
Wow.
Here I have 7.
Okay. Sneaky Linux, are you using Kdenlive since you're in the house? I know you do some editing, with some graphics and some title graphics in the beginning of your, videos. I like to use Dissolve, right-click Dissolve. Sneaky uses, yeah, that's what I put a few of those in on the movie trailer of my dad's, which came in really handy. I think that's in 19 still, but I think Dissolves work nicely. But still, you right-click on the timeline, right-click, and everything's there. Now I got to go up to the settings, or by the settings timeline, add it, go back down, go back up and down, up and down. I'm like, no, Omega B says Kdenlive looks great with the widget style. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, I stuck with 18 for now, so. Yeah, we've talked about Shotcut. That's multi, platform for Windows and Mac, I believe, and they've done a pretty good job. Shotcut. I noticed it's not quite as fast in rendering as Kdenlive, but it's stable. Let me see real quick here. Do Chromebooks have some kind of video? Oh, that's all web. It's probably on the web, huh? Nothing installed. Let me see, video editor, Chromebook video editor. Let's see, what do we have here for Chromebooks? Just out of curiosity.
You'd have to upload your video to Google first. Give them your entire video.
Yeah. Let me see here. Video editing tools, Chromebook, Power Director. Really? For the Chromebook? KineMaster, K-I-N-E Master, with the subscription. Web-based, there's Wii Video, free and paid. If it's faster and easier to use, I may just get a Chromebook for it, but I would have to get a hefty Chromebook.
So I'm just laughing at Wii Video. That would be bad.
Wii Video. It's not that kind of Wii.
All right.
Wii. Yeah, use it with your smart toilet. Shut up, Smits. Oh man. So you saw the the best news nonsense.
Oh yeah.
There was Stephanie. Yeah, there's something about her and the chicken.
I think if you just loop her laugh,
yeah,
that could make an entire video.
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot more of that chicken laugh, but I don't want to make it the whole thing about laughing about a chicken joke, But yeah.
It was. I mean, it's a silly joke. It's a dumb joke.
I mean, I laughed when I first did it last Christmas. If you recall, we had Tim on. All those Christmas jokes. It's like, what do you call a chicken at the North Pole? Lost. It's kind of funny. It's kind of, but. PC crash because the NVIDIA install stopped at 96%. Sorry about that, Omega B. So once again, multimedia still struggles in Linux. Sneaky's going to go to bed. I know, Sneaky, you are, 6 hours ahead? Well, thank you for staying up. Have a good night, mate. Chromebook video is always cloud. Yeah, that's what I figured. I don't think there's anything, even with the higher end. Yeah. Oh, well. That's too bad, because I'm sure Google could make a nice video editor built in the machine. But maybe that's coming. Chromebooks continue to sell, starting at $200. Can't beat it. I think I'm going to pre-order the new Kindle Fire 7 tab. I sent in my Samsung Tab 3 as a trade-in, so I might try it. It's supposed to be, I guess, twice as fast and. For $50 actually less, when I buy it.
Or we get one of the e-ink reader ones, but man, those are expensive.
They're about $100. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're easier on the eyes because it's white on black, right? Yeah. So that might be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might
But
be
it's like,
worth it.
I'll keep an eye out, but I just want it for testing purposes. It's not like not an
Okay.
object I use a
Well,
lot.
if it's just for testing, but if it's something I was going to use daily or weekly, I would buy it because, like I said, I wear contacts usually. Now I want something usually less strain. Um, um,
Yeah, I did
Ubuntu
have a Nexus
3:45
7.
a.m. Good night, Ubuntu.
Yeah,
Sorry, Vince, go ahead.
I did have a Nexus 7 tablet, but I found that I didn't really use it that much since I've got my phone with me all the time,
Okay.
and that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do actually want to get an e-reader that's not an Amazon or something. I want to get something that I can add a custom ROM to.
Mm.
However, I probably should get something standard like I might just do a Samsung tab because I can get the Nook, the Kindle, apps directly on it.
I think you can root the Fire, although I believe you can add the Google Play Store without rooting. There's a couple APKs. Other than that, I mean, that's all I would do. I'm not into rooting that much or hacking the. And of course, I think in the lock screen it shows ads, which is fine with me. So yeah.
I think though there would be an advantage of having a stock one just as a testing device. I mean, I do write books, so that's being able to test on something that's like that. Of course, I do have an iPad, but there's times actually I like reading some of the old classic books on one of those tablets.
Sure.
I don't want to do it on the iPad because iPads are expensive. I don't like my iPad to leave my house. Whereas
I still got the iPad Mini first generation. I don't use it that much because I can no longer update it. It stopped at iOS 9. Now we got iOS 10, 11, but I don't care. It works. So yeah, the Fire I'll get pretty much for testing, and then this summer when I head out to the pool, I'll bring that and my Bluetooth speaker to play music. And if it breaks or I drop it in the water, so what? It's only $50. But they say that one's water resistant and drop resistant. I should test it from a roof just to see. I'll buy the insurance on. I accidentally dropped it. Send me a new one.
You were watching a video while you were redoing your roof.
Yes. I didn't know how to nail. I had to look up how to nail a thing to the roof.
Just don't nail it to the roof.
Yeah, I know. I actually nailed my tablet to the roof. It's a tablet roof. But yeah, I think the new Fire tablet supposedly it's drop proof. Within a certain height, it won't break. We'll see. I don't think I'll be testing.
3 feet onto an 8-inch mat.
Yeah.
Or
if you drop it on the grass, it doesn't count. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, but oh well.
Well, I did watch some drop test videos when I was shopping for my new phone, or my current phone, and just watching those videos is painful.
Yeah,
because the abuse they put these little devices through.
I know.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah. So Benjamin says, so now your tablet is in the cloud. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I had a really nice Dell tablet that just one day all of a sudden stopped turning on. Have never been able to figure it out. Battery was, there was battery draw. There was, everything seemed to be fine. It was like, but I paid $100 for it and I had it for, 3 years. Like, never. Oh well, just toss it out.
Planned obsolescence strikes again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just this tablet has reached its lifespan.
Yeah, really.
So go buy a new one.
I guess after a certain amount of years, I guess I can understand that. But
yeah, I love that thing though. It's a nice little Dell tablet. It was great. It was cheap, but it wasn't cheap quality. It was just low price, but it was really high quality. I really enjoyed it.
No, the iPad Mini when I bought it 3 years ago, I have to give Apple credit. I didn't test it that much, but every single app I installed just worked. There were no surprises, no glitches. It was smooth. I guess that's one of the advantages of a locked system where they have a higher quality standard. It just worked. No surprises. I was impressed. Of course, I can't hook it up to my Linux. That's what really irks me. But
you should be able to hook it up and do some file transfers. And
I
stuff. Like,
tried. It comes up
you can't
error or
transfer
something.
files-
Yeah.
You can't transfer files onto it, but you can transfer files off. To
Ah.
transfer files onto it, you actually want to download an FTP application and FTP them over to your app,
Okay.
which is beyond stupid. But
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
got
Yeah.
some new Google Pixel 3a. I've not seen anything on the new Google Pixel 3a.
I saw a brief video. I think it's like $400 for the small one and $500 for the XL.
Yeah,
But that's
I
all
mean,
that I know. Yeah.
classically, Google phones have been some of the most customizable. Like my phone is a Google phone because they are the absolute most customizable. You could unlock the bootloaders, you
Yeah.
can install custom ROMs, you could restore them to factory if you need to sell them. I mean, I love the Google phones for that. But I mean, I don't know if they're still moving in that model. If they are, that very well could be the next phone I buy. I don't know.
Yeah, $400 is reasonable if it's high, if it's a high quality machine, which it probably is. Yeah. For a new machine, I'm happy with my $200 Motorola. It does what it has to do. It's not bloated. It just works. It's unlocked, and it's fine. I can't compare it to my son's Galaxy S10.
It seems like these manufacturers now have realized they've gone too far in terms of the high-end phones, and they're dropping down and making these.
Well, I think they were saying phone sales are down. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I talked about that in my live stream today. I'll probably be releasing that video tomorrow, I think, the edited version. But yeah,
at some point you reach a threshold where customers say, "No, I'm not going to spend that for a phone. Sorry,
Because Samsung have that now. Was it the Galaxy 10e now, or whatever it is, as well?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what my next phone's going to be after this. I mean, like if this one lasts me 2 years, I'll be happy. For $200, move on to another Motorola phone. Yeah, I like a phone that's not bloated. It doesn't have to be the fastest or the most 60 megapixel camera or nothing like that. But I just don't want it bloated. I just want it to work smooth. And that's what this one seems to do. It's got fast charging. It just works. So what's this on the ticker? Super Paper is an advanced multi-monitor wallpaper tool for Linux. They call it Super Paper. I like that. I like the name. I'm not going to use it, but hey, Super Paper. That's better than Dead Beef.
Dead beef or deadbeat dads.
Yeah, I use Dead Beef. Anyway, Spring Clean with Stacer. I have used Stacer in the past, a system optimizer tool for Linux. Very good. I guess they've already started work on the next Ubuntu. What's it called? Eowyn, Emi, Mami, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of something like that.
So, yeah, really. Powerbeats Pro water resistance test. Find out what happens if you drop Apple's newest earbuds in the toilet. They get flushed. That's what happens. I don't know. That's what it says.
How did the guy who swallowed them get them out? They must have gone in the toilet.
I guess so.
Either that or he was wearing a man diaper.
Yeah, really. That was the story from last week, News and Nonsense. And Stephanie's saying, I wonder if he swallowed it like and he turned him on, his stomach would dance. Like that's
entertaining the gut bacteria. I mean,
yes, I wonder if it's Schwarzenegger, so he would,
What if you're on the bus and suddenly there's music? I'm like, where's that coming from?
I know. Dude, what's that coming out of your ASS? That would be, but
it puts a whole new meaning to tooting.
That's impressive when you think about it. Those earbuds, those ear parts survived the digestive tract. That's pretty impressive.
Would you put them back in your ear? That's the question.
Hell no. Nope.
So why are these super radical environmentalists not all up in arms about that? Because if it survived the GI tract, that thing is not decomposing.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I know. Wow. Nah, if anything survived I ain't sticking that sucker back in my ear. Sorry. It's going in the toilet or, yeah. I'm going to send it back to Apple. Hey, I just bought these, man. They're
They
literally
smell
a
like
piece
crap.
of. I know these are really. Oh, go here we go. They sound like crap. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to hook them up to my smart toilet, man, and no, but literally hooked up to my toilet, smart toilet. Oh wow. Anyway.
Yep.
All right, we're probably going to wrap this up here in about 10 minutes. If we have anybody new in the chat would like to say hello, have a question for me or Tom. Don't ask Vince; he don't have a clue. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't.
Feel free to
I'm half
ask or
asleep
say
still.
hello. Yeah. Now, Vince, you've been using Linux now over a year, right?
Yeah, over a year.
Well, then, yeah.
Yep.
You probably know a lot more than the 800 million plus Windows users do.
And
so.
I've been on i3 for about 3 months.
Well, there you go.
I love it.
Yeah, how you like an i3?
It's great, especially on laptops because it really maximizes the screen real estate.
Nice.
And because like trackpads are just hard to use, so keyboard, everything is great.
Yeah. I left my mouse for my writing computer at some restaurant somewhere, and had a mouse. I like that little mouse too. Oh well, it was a little tiny one. So I'd be buying me a new one.
I was right before I jumped on. I was on the web shopping for just see how much graphics cards cost. The 4 gig. They're about between 150 $200 it seems for a 4 gigabyte graphics card. This one had when I bought this, it had a AMD 1 gigabyte DVI or DisplayPort card. I said, what the heck am I gonna do with that? I just pulled it out. It was pointless, But anyway. Benjamin uses i3. Okay.
I just downloaded. I think it was Arco Linux the other day. I want to try that out because that's got i3 out of the box as well.
Okay. That's pretty fast from what I read or seen i3, but yeah. Jonathan says, "Are there keyboard shortcuts for i3?" I'm sure there are. I haven't used it in years.
No, the whole thing's keyboard.
So it is the whole thing. Okay.
How does that relate to GNOME, which is also a keyboard intensive? Why would you prefer i3 to GNOME?
It's much lighter for one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like I boot up, and it's using 300 megs of RAM, and that's on Mint as well, with a lot of services going too.
And Mint Cinnamon, like Mint, just regular Mint.
Yeah, regular Mint Cinnamon.
I would probably compare i3 for what I read, speed-wise, maybe to XFCE, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of it's funny because a lot of the i3 little system tools and things that I found useful come from XFCE anyway. So, for example, the power managers are the XFCE one. Some of the other tools are XFCE.
I don't know if we have any John Wick fans out there, but the headline is "Everyone is gun fu fighting. John Wick 3 is almost as good as the original." With Keanu Reeves. Speaking of entertainment news, there's a new Star Trek series coming out called Star Trek Picard. Jean-Luc is back.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I've always liked him. He's a Shakespearean trained actor, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Jean-Luc Picard. He was on NPR radio a few years ago. They had him on as a guest. So they had him do a sketch. They said, "Now, Sir Patrick wants you to read the lyrics to a famous song with your English accent." So, and we have to guess the name of the song. So he reads it. She was a fast machine. You can see where this is go. She had the best thighs I ever seen, or something like the song. Knocking me out with those American thighs. And do you know the song? It's from AC/DC. Took me all night long, but he read it. She was a fast machine.
Well, to bring it full circle, did you know that Patrick Stewart was in the Emoji Movie?
Oh, really? Okay.
Did you know which character he played?
No.
The poop emoji.
Oh, of course. Wow. No, they asked him, Patrick, what's the difference between American and British thighs? He says, oh, the difference is huge. That was a good one. That's what, yeah.
Comparing British and American, which one's huger?
Well, he didn't say that. That was up to he's clever. That's for you to decide, you know.
Because I'll tell you, both
Yeah.
America and UK, we both got
Yeah,
some.
no, he did not go there. He left it as a joke. But yeah, the story goes. Patrick got the job as Picard years ago. They were looking for the captain for the new Star Trek series, and he was giving a speech in L.A. And there were people. There were production. There was guys from the series. And the one guy says, you know what? I'm sitting here watching this guy talk, and the story goes, that's Picard just by listening to him, and the rest is history. So, you know. But yeah, Star Trek Picard. Looking forward to that. There was some other entertainment news. I forget what it was. Anyway. All right, 5-minute warning, and I'm going to go to Betty Bye tonight. So again, if there's anybody new who hasn't had a chance to say hello or ask a question, please do. We'll wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for the super chats here. A John Wick T-shirt said, "You hurt my dog, and I'll kill you with my pencil." Okay. Yes, I get the point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might go see the next Godzilla movie. Why not? Maybe catch a matinee or something. Oh, 2019 Australia election. Vince Morrison celebrates a miracle win. Why is it a miracle win?
Well, everyone expected the Labour Party, which is Morrison's a Conservative Party, the Labour Party's the Liberal.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All the polling was suggesting that the other guys were going to win, but he's pulled it out and managed to win.
Okay. I guess is that good?
I was mainly excited because what they do is with our elections is most of the polling places have barbecues.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that before.
Did you? Oh, man, that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
And so the best thing about going to vote is you get a sausage sandwich.
Nice.
If America did that, we'd have like very high voter turnout.
Oh.
Well, it's not free though. You've got to buy it.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought it was paid for by the parties. Okay. Still, it's something.
That though is what would happen here in the United States. Allow the parties to pay for it. Yeah, I'll take a hot dog on you.
Yeah, considering they rake in millions, hundreds of millions. I mean, so who are you voting for? I'm voting for the guy who paid for this sausage. Yeah. That's all I'm voting for.
I don't know if sausage would be quite as popular though as pizza here among the
Okay,
States.
all right. I'm voting for the Italian guy.
We've got a bigger sausage than that guy.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, we got some Arnold Schwarzenegger news, Tom. Arnold Schwarzenegger dropped kicked at a South African event. The actor tells fans there was nothing. I actually caught this briefly before, and he's okay because
was on the way back.
he was hit from behind. No, I think he said. I caught it on my phone briefly, and I think he said he thought he just got pushed by the crowd, by by exuberant crowd or something. He didn't think he got drop kick, but he's okay.
Are you crazy? You tried to dropkick a Terminator. I did all my own stunts in the movie. And
no, what is wrong with you? Oh. Now I have to dry clean this shirt.
I broke my hip.
I'll dropkick you next, fool.
I like Arnold. He says, "There's nothing to worry about, folks. It was just a fly landed on my shoulder, right?" Anyway, he should be wrapping up the next Terminator movie. Terminator 6. I think.
See, Terminator 2 was supposed to end it all. I'm like, after 2, they just got bad cash grab.
I liked 3, but the 2 ones after that, nah. 3 I enjoy. It was fun. It was silly, but it was fun.
I
The
agree.
Terminator
2 was
Salvation, I'm like, where's Arnold? Die.
Mm.
And then he came back for the other one. I'm like, nah, I don't like that either. You know. STS, why are we drop kicking Terminators? I don't know.
Because stupid, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drop kick Arnold Schwarzenegger. What are you, crazy?
No, he's getting up there in age, but he still looks. Yeah, he could probably snap you in half. You know.
Kind of like I had a pastor, one of the churches I went to, when he was like 65 or so, he competed in and finished the Ironman competition. You know, where's that at? It was at Hawaii, I think, where you swim 20 miles, you run 20 miles, and you bike 20 miles in one day. You know? It's just like
that's something at any age. Yeah,
I think swim 5 miles. I think it's you swim 5 miles and then 20 miles running and maybe 30 miles on it. I forget what all the
that's
things
a lot of
are.
miles. I do that with my fuel cell.
It's like you were pretty old when you ran it. It's like
I'll drive 20 miles and I'll get out of the car and I'll be like, oh, my back is sore.
I know.
Yeah.
Quick, plug me in. I know there was that movie called Terminator Salvation. So I see Arnold doing Terminator 10 at age 100 and call it Terminator Salivation. I'll tell you that when he's drooling all.
Oh, no.
Just kidding, Arnold. We love you. Stephanie does a great Arnett Schwarzenegger. She's awesome. She's awesome. So, Spin Viking asks, is ZRAM useful? We'll make this the last question. Is ZRAM useful for VMs? I do not know. Spin?
No clue here either.
No clue. ZRAM. It sounds like something you take for a cold. I take ZRAM.
Hey, I took ZRAM and it helped that cold go away.
That's right. I rammed that
I keep
cold out.
thinking zombie RAM. Is it zombie RAM?
Yeah.
Zombie RAM. Patrick Stewart did a lot of voice acting in old computer games. Okay. Very good. Okay, I'm going to shut down the ticker feed. All right, 2-minute warning, and we'll go to bed. Oh, I worked out today. I cut the grass today. I sweated, but it was a good workout. I cut most of it. I have to finish it tomorrow because it rained later, but okay. With my cordless lawnmower. Tomorrow I'll be using my Black. You know what? Black & Decker are a sponsor of video. They should sponsor. Come on, as much as I use Black & Decker, come on, BD. You know.
I told you need to do more leaf blower videos.
Well, you know, I use their combination leaf blower computer cleaner. Black & Decker, you know. Anyway, it enhances RAM. Spin, that's what ZRAM is used for, but I don't know about VMs. Yeah, I do not know.
Is it like those programs you used to get in Windows where you could download a program and double your RAM?
Yeah, those don't really. Yeah.
No, don't download those programs, folks. Don't do those.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the download this problem to this program to solve X problem.
And then create another problem.
It causes X problem. You know.
Yeah. If you want a faster computer, upgrade it or buy a faster computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, Benjamin, i3 open box simplicity. Yes. They are simple.
Also, ZRAM is the RAM disk. Right.
I think ZRAM loads on startup or something, or it remembers or something. I don't know. I haven't used it. Storm warning until Sunday night, Gnostic. We actually had it, but then it went away. Is there another one? I don't know. It's so much rain. I don't care anymore. Yeah, tomorrow night, chance of storms. Oh, well. It's been so wet here. God, I think Noah's flood had less water. Jeez. You know.
Well, we're the opposite. I think we're officially in drought again. It hasn't rained for ages.
Again, really? Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a local pollen alert.
Hmm.
Oh, it'll get down to, man, it's going to get down to 64 tonight.
Nice sleeping weather.
Yeah.
Crack open the window. Awesome.
And tomorrow we're calling for thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. So you'll probably get those a couple hours before I do.
Yeah. Yeah, probably will. Oh well. But Monday morning got to get my car checked. The brakes. Steve. Well, Steve, I'm just about to wrap it up.
Hey, Steve.
So, how you doing, Stevie? How's your Peppermint 10? Have you installed it, Steve?
I think he did a video on it. I'm not sure if he installed it.
Yeah, I'll probably install Peppermint 10 here sometime this week. Get rid of KDE Neon. Try something else. Is ZRAM like virtual RAM? It's I forget the technical thing for it, Dostik. But it remembers. It's something about it remembers what you used before in terms of applications, and it speeds those up or something like that. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but yeah, I don't use ZRAM. No, this machine got 16 gigabytes of RAM, so it's. Steve, you're on. Oh, that's right. You're still at the hotel. The hotel life in Linux.
Events, it's coming.
Wow.
Is that the instructions on how to use Arch?
Yes. No, this is the next
That's
part.
part one.
Yeah. So 179 pages. I actually went with a different interior font this time. It's shocking, I know. I got sick of the last one.
I mean, that's prolific. You're prolific.
Yeah, this is the one actually I've been co-writing with somebody for a few years. So we just got to that final point where he just gave me the last final touch-ups on the introduction. So I think we can send it out to the readers. There's probably still a few things I want to edit, but yeah, this one turned out really nice. So it's nice and shiny, and so this one though I wrote it in 1 week.
Okay.
So yeah, and I have to finish up the rest of that series too. So crazy. Yeah, you got to get to like 10 or so books, and then it starts to self-sustain itself. As long as they're remotely good, I don't know. But hopefully by the end of the weekend, I'll have that ready to go for beta reading.
Any last questions in the chat? I'm going to have my glass of wine here shortly, and
Oh, I thought you already started.
no, I had water and
That's just
Actually,
normal to us.
yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm feeling kind of tired. I may just go straight to bed. The heck with the wine. I had a good workout today, a good sweat, so it felt good. So anyway, so tomorrow, yeah, I'll check with Stephanie. Maybe we'll do a live Mac Talk live. I don't know, before 12 p.m. local time here. She's in Germany, so maybe we'll do that. We'll talk about Mac versus Windows, you know, and then we'll go from there. If not, then we'll just do the normal recording for News Nonsense. Maybe we'll take a request or two for a song or two from her, and that'll be it for tomorrow.
What's the Big Daddy Linux challenge this week? Vince,
I don't
know.
I didn't catch
I don't
middle
know.
this week. I think Steve says it's Kubuntu.
Oh, I see now. Okay, yeah.
I think that's what Rocco normally runs. I think.
I've lost track.
Yeah.
I lost. It is Kubuntu. Okay.
Yeah.
I've lost track. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this machine here, it has two different drives. This one's got the original hard drive for Windows 10. I disconnected one of the CD drive, DVD drives I put an SSD for Ubuntu Mate, and that's it for this. My other machines I'll test, you know. But once this is set up the way I want it, it's stable, I ain't touching it. Leaving it the way it is, and it runs fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, my main machines have been stuck on Linux Mint since I started. That's done everything I needed to do. I've tried a whole stack of other stuff, and I haven't found a good reason to change.
There's no reason to wipe your system. Like I think what happens, unfortunately, in the Linux world is you see people just testing different distros. You think you got to wipe your system and run that. It's like, no, there's providing options for if you're looking for.
Newer isn't always better. I mean, just look at Kdenlive. Perfect example. It's not better. Yeah. So unless you're having issues with bugs and stability where you have to, don't do it. Yeah, this here it's fine. And this machine's without a graphics card, and it's fine. And this will still do 1080p, but it takes a little bit too long. For Kdenlive rendering. But it's capable. But 720p, man, it zips. It cuts my time by 2/3. So I'm sticking with 720p rendering, man. It's nice. Yeah.
There you go. That works.
Oh, it's nice. 10-minute video, like 3 minutes. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, zippy doo doo da. Okay, well, I'm going to end it right here. Here on the live chat. Thank you everyone for joining tonight. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And maybe I'll catch you guys tomorrow, Tom and Vince. So then we'll just go from there. Tom, you got something going on tomorrow, or?
Just scheduled videos. It's Sunday, so I'm not generally around.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Avoid computers as much as possible on Sundays.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
Well,
Then stick on afterwards. I'll tell you what I got going on with the project.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye, everybody here in the live